A few moments ago, I changed the name of my channel to An American Voice, and in this video, I'm going to tell you why. If you like this video, please leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you know when I post new videos. Now, why did I change the name of this channel? It was over a year ago. I was watching the news and they had this panel of women of color talking about the variety of political things. And among them was Ayanna Pressley, a Democrat from Massachusetts, member of the House of Representatives. And she was making this argument that Black people should speak with a black voice, brown people should speak with a brown voice, queer people should speak with a queer voice, Muslims should speak with a Muslim voice, etc. And I watched it and I was both dumbfounded and outraged. Let's roll the tape.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up. Because we need you to represent that voice.
So why was I dumbfounded and outraged? Well, there were 4 reasons. Her remarks were stupid, her remarks were paternalistic, her remarks were racist, and her remarks were basically un-American. Now, why is this stupid? Well, sometimes I think that minorities in this country, people of color, especially progressive people of color, seem to forget that over 70% of the population is white. If you really want to play identity politics, do you really want to get to a position where 70% of the people, the white people, start speaking with a white voice? Is that really a good idea? Do you really want to go down that road? And if you say, well, white people all don't speak with a single voice, then you're left with the question is, well then, why should black people? Why should brown people speak with one voice? That gets us to other problems with this approach. This whole approach is paternalistic. It assumes that white people speak with a different voice, but black people don't, and brown people don't. That's paternalism. What you're saying is basically white people seem to be capable of more different kinds of thinking and more different kinds of approaches than minorities, who have to all think alike. You're basically saying that white people are more intelligent than minorities, who can't seem to handle all these different issues enough sufficiently to be able to take different positions. That there's something wrong with them. They're not quite as capable as white people. It's very paternalistic. And it's also something else. But something else is racism. I mean, it's a racist approach. We have lots of people who've come to this country from different parts around the world. You got East Asians, Koreans, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thais. In their home countries, do they all think alike? Do all South Koreans think and vote alike? Do all the people in Taiwan think and vote alike? What about Africa? There are many African immigrants who've been coming to this country since basically 1980. I mean, these are voluntary comings to this country. Not talking about people who were brought here as slaves hundreds of years ago. Do all people from Nigeria, in Nigeria, think alike? Do all the people in Kenya think alike and vote alike? No. They're just like white people. They're just like brown people. They're just like Asian people. They have diverse political, social, personal views. But when they come to the United States, suddenly all Nigerians are supposed to think alike. They're supposed to speak with this Presley's black voice. All East Asians who come to the United States, whether they're from Japan or Korea or Vietnam or Thailand or Malaysia, all should think and vote alike? I mean, does that make any sense? What is it that you're saying about these people around the world who are non-white? Would anybody say that, all the Irish who come to this country as immigrants should all think and vote alike? Or all the Poles who come to this country should all think and vote alike? Nobody would expect that of them. Why? Because they're white. We don't expect that of white people. At least progressives don't expect that of white people, but they do expect it of people of color. As soon as you get in the door, you're supposed to vote in one way. You're supposed to think in one way. And who determines what that one way is? Basically, white progressive people. They're the ones who decide what's real. Joe Biden said it well not too long ago. If you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. So here you got some old white progressive defining what it means to be an African American in this country. What's wrong with that picture? And of course, this is all un-American. What's the motto for the country? E pluribus unum. It's Latin. For those of you who never had Latin or don't know, E means from, pluribus, the many, unum, to one. From the many to one. Not as Al Gore said when he was vice president, from the one to the many. I don't know what schools he went to. I thought he was educated at good schools and private schools. I would have thought he would have known a little bit of Latin. Apparently not. And it seems like progressives have stood that motto on its head. It's like we're going from one to the many. No, we're supposed to go from the many to the one. The thing that holds Americans together isn't religion. We have different religions. It's not ethnicity. We have different ethnicities. It's not even language. What holds Americans together, what makes us a nation, is adherence to a set of political ideas, Republican political ideas, not Republican Party political ideas, small r Republican ideals. Not necessarily Democratic ideals, but Republican ideals. That's what makes you an American. It's not like Poland, where everybody's Polish, or Japan, where everybody's Japanese. If we don't have a set of ideals that we all believe in, accept, and adhere to, if we don't move from being the many to the one, there is no United States. There's no reason for it to exist. We should just break it apart. Have a civil war, get it over with. Because this kind of thinking is going to lead directly to a civil war if it's pursued much longer. On this channel, I intend to consistently pursue an American view. And keep in mind, I said an American view. I didn't say the American view. Because there's not a single view. I don't claim to speak for all Americans. There are over 300 million of us, and we have divergent opinions. I accept that. That's part of being an American. At least it used to be. So I am an American voice. I don't claim to be the American voice. I'm not like Ayanna Pressley and the others. I don't think that all Americans should think and act alike, whereas she believes all black people should think and act alike, and brown people and queer people and Asians and Muslims and all should all think and act alike. That's not my view. That's why it's an American, not the American. Now, I know, I'm sure, I'm certain that there are going to be people out there who are going to say, oh, you're not speaking with an American voice, you're speaking with a white voice from your position of white privilege, yada, yada, yada. There's nothing I can do about that. I mean, the last 4 years, I've been called a racist so many times. And you look around the world today, what isn't racist? Math is racist. 2 + 2 = 4 is racist. Everything's racist. Statues are racist. What was the other night? Sleep. Sleep is now racist. What does racism mean anymore? But I would also say to those people, even if you want to look at what I'm saying from that point of view, isn't that what Ayanna Pressley said I should do? Black people should speak with a black voice or get out of here. Brown people should speak with a brown voice or get out of here. Muslims should speak with a Muslim voice or get out of here. Well, if you want to look at it that way, then maybe I am speaking with a white voice. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to put up more videos. Anyway, if you think like me and you'd like to see more videos along these lines, please support the channel. Leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, subscribe, please subscribe, and hit the notification button so you'll know when I post new videos. And until I do, I'm out of here.